Hello friends and welcome to my channel if you're new, or welcome back if you're back. If you are new, hi, my name's Rabbit and my pronouns are they, them, and either way, thank you so much for clicking on this video today. So today's video is honestly, in a super silly way that it absolutely did not have to be, has been in the works for like 3 years probably, because I think I made these back in like 2021 or something and just sat on the footage of like me making it forever, and then I thought I deleted the footage, so I was like, oh man, I'll have to like refilm this again, but then I managed to re-find it, and then I decided, you know what, let's just put it out as like a Halloween special kind of video because it's sort of Halloween-y ish, at least the one that I'm going to show. But as usual with these crafty videos, I'm just going to show the example of crafting one, but then show you a bunch of examples of other ones that I've made. But basically, to give you like a little backstory, this video is all going to be about making DIY like mini spooky shrines, or you don't have to make them spooky, you can make them whatever you want. And I got the idea from this book that I got for $1.25 back in university at like a little thrift store. It's called Revamp, and it is one of the best purchases that I've ever made. This is the specific page that I like learned this technique from, but this whole book is just a load, like it just is full of really cool DIY creative projects that have inspired me over the years. It's just super creative, very funky. A lot of this art stuff is like, reminds me a lot of like my mom. They use a lot of like found objects, and that's just always been one of my favorite art styles and techniques to use. It's a lot of just like super bright, super colorful collection of stuff. I absolutely love it. But regardless, setting that aside, in this project I will show you yeah, the dashboard shrines. They call it a dashboard shrine. I don't put any of these in my car, especially because I only decorated the front side of most of them. But yeah, if you're interested in seeing how I make a little cutie such as this, and I'll probably have to like scooch to the side and insert pictures, then keep on watching. The tutorial will come first and then we'll get into the collection. Alright, so on to the tutorial. So I'm starting by taking a cardboard box and measuring out how tall I need the little shrine to be by just taking a pencil and sketching out the rough shape of the little troll that I want to make be a centerpiece in this. Cutting out one of the pieces of the box that is like a corner essentially, and once it's roughly cut out I can more easily trace the specific shape I want. You could do a pointy shape, you could do this kind of oval situation that I'm doing, square, doesn't matter, do whatever you like. Then the next step, I like to cover up the base. Now for this I'm going to use some fabric, some scrap black velvet, but you could also use paint or a big printed picture. You could collage it, you could put ribbon or lace or whatever you want over it, but I'm just taking some hot glue to secure my little piece of black velvet all the way around. My shrines are just going to be one-sided, but if you wanted, you could also decorate the back as well. And I'm just going ahead with the hot glue gun and making sure that all the corners are nice and tidy and pinned down. You can trim off any excess. I have all these cute pumpkin toothpicks I got at the dollar store, so I'm cutting off the toothpick part of them since they make a cute little like almost die cut situation, and arranging them in a shape I would like. Then just going ahead and securing them with hot glue. You could use E6000 or something if you wanted it to be extra durable, but I haven't had any issues for the most part with hot glue things, and you can always just stick it back if it's a big problem. And then I have all these little erasers that I got at the dollar store around Halloween time, and I'm playing around with the idea of arranging a couple of those around there. I have a plastic spider ring from the Halloween store. It gets to go on there, has that awesome bright orange kind of vintage feel, so going ahead and securing that after I cut off the plasticky ring part. And it's really just a matter of decorating as you please. I have these little plastic orange star beads that I'm using. You can just go around your house, go to the dollar store, look through a found objects tin if you have one of those, and just see what you can organize on there. Little doll accessories like this tiny Monster High candelabra are also really helpful for this kind of project, so if you have unused or unloved or thrifted doll accessories, these are a great thing to use. And you can always paint them first to give them extra nice details. I just didn't bother with this one. Those little eyeballs are some Halloween stickers, and I'm also going with some little rhinestones just to add a little bit of sparkle. These are from the dollar store and they have like a sticker on the back, but they didn't stay on super well, so I probably should have gone and glued them as well. regardless, we live and learn, and I think it still looks cute. I have these little alphabet beads, and I got orange and black ones that spell out the word Halloween, so I'm going ahead and just gluing those all down across the bottom of it as sort of a border. And I'm taking my little troll doll and adding him into the mix. Cage and I love trolls, and they're just like such a cute little character, so I'm adding him in, as well as this little Ouija planchette charm that I got. I think it's just a resin charm, and placing a couple of random other things around there, like a bell that I'm currently snipping the loop off of, and the little pumpkin eraser. Just a matter of gluing things down. There's no right or wrong way to do this. It's truly just about having fun and creating something exciting out of repurposed materials, in my opinion. So yeah, just put on your favorite movie or music or podcast or whatever and get all your creative materials out and just have a good time if you're trying to do this. It's way more fun to do that than to stress about every little detail. I'm also adding some little sequins and some more beads. And I think it's really cool to get super creative with all the items you use. A lot of, like little kids' toys and dollar store things can be super helpful, but sequins, glitters, feathers, all sorts of craft supplies. These are like some sticker rhinestone things that I got at the dollar store that I'm just using to make a nice shiny border around everything. But you can use lace and fabric and leopard print trim and stickers and postcards and stamps and whatever you got around. Wrappers that have interesting designs on them. I don't know. I'm a big fan of like found object art and kind of really over the top, kitschy, shiny, slightly tacky things. So if that is also your thing, feel free to do this. You can also make like a really understated, elegant one, and I'll show a couple of like more fancy ones. But yeah, basically just sticking all the rhinestones on until we're satisfied, and that's the Halloween shrine complete. Okay, so I hope that was fun. Now it's time to show you my collection. I'll like scoot over to the side so I can insert pictures if need be. And I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I've made, but I still think they're all really cute. And the one that I showed you is actually probably my least favorite out of the ones that I have. So without further ado, let's get into some cool ones. So this one, I love it completely. Yeah, I'll totally have to insert the pictures beside me. But it's a picture of Elvira on the phone, and I used like a triangular backing, and this shape very much reminds me of like a church, or like I remember when I was in Italy years ago visiting my family, there would be these like little shrines like built into the rocks that like had very much this shape with like different saints or like the Saint Mary and like stuff like that. And I've always just been really fascinated with different like religious imagery like that. So yeah, this kind of reminded me of that, but also like adding the chains on the side feels almost like it's like a drawbridge or something, but it also adds stability and like keeps it up, so that's kind of cool. Again, I didn't bother doing anything on the back, but we shall survive on that. I used a little set of like alphabet beads that are heart-shaped to write out Elvira in the top, and I used some little trim that's like metallic and looks like fake studs all around it that I got from the thrift store. I used some different stickers like a dagger and a Ouija planchette and like a candle and like a bubbling cauldron and a tombstone and just different stuff like that. I also put some little safety pins and some dead looking roses and different like metallic charms that I found around, like a skull and a heart and a spider. I put a little resin bird skull and some birthday candles in the front, and then these little ghosties at the very front I got at the Halloween store. They're just little Halloween erasers. I feel like Halloween time is a fantastic time to go to the dollar store if you have one and like get all those itty bitty little like kind of crafty things that then you can like use over the year in stuff like this, like little plastic bones, little plastic erasers that are cute, all these sorts of things. So yeah, that's the Elvira one. I think it's absolutely precious and I like it a lot. Another one that I think turned out wonderfully is this one of Lydia from Beetlejuice. I originally thought I was going to keep it black and white, but I've always loved that costume that she has that's like the red wedding dress, so I decided to incorporate a lot of red lace into it. So I started by just covering the cardboard in some black velvet, just like scrap fabric that I had around, and then gluing the red lace around that to just give it a little bit of frill. And then again I added some dollar store metallic trim around the entire edges of it. I also put some little fake pearls around it just to add some like visual interest, and I have some paper flowers that I got from the thrift store, some little like star ribbon that I got at Michael's years ago, again a birthday candle, a plastic fly, as usual different like plastic bones and stars and stuff like that that again dollar store finds. Same with the heart sticker that I like added little pen ink around. The little spider charm I think is really fun. I got that online. Again, I wrote out her name in just the little alphabet letters and added some big safety pins and some little spikes, and I just think this one looks so freaking cute. Also, this little cat I got with Cage when we were at the candy store. There was like a little candy thing that came with like a little cat carrier, like a mini plastic one, and it had some little fish shaped candies inside and a little plastic cat, and this is the plastic cat. Like, the cat was going to be a mystery. This is the one we got, and I know Lydia has kind of nothing to do with cats, but I thought it would suit her, so that's why this ended up here. I like it a lot. And yeah, I have a little bat sequin in there. Basically whatever you can find around your house that you're like, that's cute, that's pretty, that's just like a little thing that I've collected over the years and I like, throw it into the project pile. You can make all sorts of fun stuff. This is one of the earlier ones that I made. I think it might have been the first one, but Morticia Adams, my muse forever. Angelica Houston's so fantastic. I was actually, when I was around 12, I think, I watched Smash for the first time, which was this musical, like, TV show. It was based on, like, a theater company doing a Broadway musical about Marilyn Monroe. But the point of it is that it has Angelica Houston as, like, this super, like, high-class divorcee business lady named Eileen, and she just like has this like perfect little bob, and I was just like rewatching it like now as an adult and being like, is that like, why does she look so familiar? And then I saw the name and I was like, Morticia Adams is in this, and it just like made my respect for the show go like way up. I've been in a musical rewatching phase lately. It's just been giving me life, all these like horror musicals, ones that I've never seen before and like I'm discovering for the first time, and then also just rewatching old favorites. It's just been such a pleasure and a passion of mine. But we're getting off track. Angelica Houston, Morticia Adams, my muse. She's fantastic. So for this one, I was using, I think, a white cardboard box, so like the background was white, and then I just put black lace over top of that, but I wanted to have like a little pad that you could put like different objects in front of, as like kind of like a little offering plate almost sort of look. So I used a little piece of velvet as like a little base on that, and I glued down a skull onto it, and then I just placed this little sword that reminds me very much of the sword that Gomez uses in like the movie when he's doing like the dancey sword fight thing. This is a Christmas candle that's like a little bit melty sideways banana shaped, but I found it at the thrift store and I thought it would work. More paper flowers that are from the thrift store, and then I just added a bunch of like metal and plastic charms around it. So I've got a spider web, a little skeleton that's like lying like this, an upside down cross, a little fake tooth, and sometimes if I don't want the charm to have like the metal loop on top, I'll just snap it off with some tweezers first. So that's what I did with the tooth. And then with the alphabet letters, as usual, I wrote out Cara Mia, just because I thought that that would be cute. And yeah, I think she looks really, really good. Yeah, I just printed out a picture of her from my laptop with just a regular printer. Turned out great, and it's been holding up very well. I think it looks super, super cute, and I'm very pleased with, yeah, my little collection of like spooky lady shrines. Now, onto my beloved, I also had to make one for Draculaura. So this little thing was all born out of the fact that I had this little McDonald's like cardboard box with a picture of Draculaura on it, and I thought it would make a good subject for this kind of project. So we put some black velvet on the cardboard, and then pink lace around it, and then black lace around that, and then stuck that cardboard picture onto this. I found that at the thrift store, by the way. And then for this one, I used a bunch of different stuff. I used a pink button because I know she uses like buttons sometimes in her outfits. Like in her Forbidden Love outfit with Claude, she has like a lot of buttons on that outfit, so I wanted to reference that. I also used a safety pin because of her safety pin earrings, some white flowers because these are kind of made of a silky material and I thought it matched her skirt. I used a little plastic bat that was just like one of those plastic bat rings that you get at the dollar store around Halloween. I cut off the back and added a little heart sequin in the front of it to kind of represent Count Fabulous. I had this Kuromi sticker that I got online forever ago, a bone kind of to represent Claude a little bit, and the moon, like the moon and the bone is kind of, you know, Draculaura and Claude kind of moment. I added some plastic beads and sequins around, like a little plastic heart and star and a glittery heart, and then these little like sparkly sequins. Again, went ahead with the birthday candles. This is one of the suggestions from the book, was to use birthday candles, and I just thought it was a great idea. This piece of plastic chain is part of Kuromi's Kuromi is a part of Kiyomi's belt because I had one that was broken that I found at the thrift store, so I clipped off one of the pieces to attach as that. Then I have some little silver sparkly sequin bats, and then the little ghosty with the heart on it. Yeah, just a bunch of different sequins and glitters and sparkles and little bits and bobs that I had around in the craft drawers and around the house, and I think it just turned out really, really cute. I like it a lot. And then last but not least, you've already seen him, but the Halloween one. I'll just go over this one really briefly since you saw the creation of it. Used a lot of toothpicks that I got at the dollar store, spiderweb ring from the dollar store. This candelabra is like from a Monster High set, little troll doll from Cage and I's collection, little orange jack-o'-lantern bell that I got at the dollar store. Same with this pumpkin eraser was from the dollar store. These Halloween letterings I got from like a craft kit I think I got a couple years ago, and the eyes are also like those little dollar store erasers. Yeah, I think some of its glitter kind of rhinestones that I put all around it are coming off, but this one's a cute one. I think it just has less of a focal point than some of the others, so I think that's why I like it a little bit less. It would be fun maybe to remake a Halloween one of these years, but I already have a lot of Halloween decor, so I'm not holding my breath. Regardless, that is my collection of little miniature shrines. Religious imagery I find is really beautiful, and again, sorry if this is a little bit blasphemous to just make it on characters and stuff, but yeah, I feel like if I were to make one today, I would probably make like a Buffy shrine, or like not to Buffy herself necessarily, but maybe like a willow rose, like a dark willow shrine from Buffy. Could see something happening there. Anyway, I think these are just like a really, really cute, fun idea. I know it's not quite the holiday season, but I also think that these would be a cute, fun holiday gift. If you have someone in your life maybe that's really into a specific band or show or character or whatever you want to do, you can make them like a little mini shrine like this, because it's quite inexpensive. You could just paint or draw or like do whatever you wanted, collage fully. You don't have to use the 3D stuff. I just think it's kind of fun. But yeah, a lot of the stuff came from the dollar store. It was like kind of found objects. It was kind of stuff that's just been in my house forever. So I think that this is potentially like a really fun little gift idea or little upcycling, recycling thing. I hope this was fun to watch. I hope this wasn't, yeah, too blasphemous or appropriating of any specific culture. I think there's a lot of different cultures that make different kind of shrines. Even like I mentioned when I was in Italy, I saw a lot of them just like built into little rocks and like around, and I don't know. I hope this was a fun craft. I hope you make something that you are also interested in if this seems like fun to you. It was a really good time for me, and yeah, relatively inexpensive if you can find cheap materials around you at like the dollar store and with a printer and with like just cardboard boxes that you happen to have. So yes, without further ado, I will let you go. Thanks again so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day or your night or whenever it happens to be. Happy spooky season once again, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Okay, bye!